friends. Welcome one, welcome all to the Park Hopper Daily Weekly Newscast. All right, hi, it's Anita here. I'm gonna give some people a couple of seconds to join. I can't believe I'm starting right at 9 o'clock. It's a miracle. It's a miracle only possible by because of my wonderful husband, Joe, who's right over here eating chips because he enjoys making as much noise as possible during the show. No, I'm just kidding. I love you, baby. He sets everything up. He sets up all the lights because I teach until 8:15 and it's 25 minutes away. So I race home and then today I just did a little side braid, threw on some lip stuff. Let's see. I hope my mom likes it. She usually messages me and lets me know if she approved of my look. So yeah, typical mama-daughter stuff. Anyway, today. Today I'm rocking this enormous Mickey Mouse sweatshirt. It's so cozy. I've been teaching all day. I started in East Hampton, then I went up to Southold, then I went out to Center Moriches. I've been teaching all day and it's been wonderful. I absolutely love it. A few people asked me on the Instagram yesterday. They're like, so what do you do? I'm a dancer and I'm a dance teacher and I run a theater company with my best friend Kasha. And, I just dance my way through life and it's so much fun and I absolutely love it. It's terrifying. And I think a lot of people kind of look at me like, what, and you're at Disney. Why are you at Disney so much? Freelance dance teacher who doesn't really know what 1 week to the next is going to look like. But you know what? I have a lot of really amazing clients and I try to do great work so that I keep getting new people through word of mouth. And that's what I do. I just do little private lessons. I do little group classes. I run this theater company and I love it. And every day is different and every day is fun, but that's not why you're here. You're here to hear about Disney. And I'm here to talk to you about Disney. Hello, who's here? Marie's here. Marie, hi. Awesome. It's so good to see you. I can't wait to meet you in real life. Okay. So this week, as in yesterday, Joe and I just got home from our most recent trip to Disney World. And it was so much fun. Hello, Travel with the Terry family. Hey guys, how's it going? You have a trip coming up? No, you wanted to come with me you wanted to go on my back. Do you guys have a trip coming up? I know Marie's on her way in a day, which is so exciting. We got everything warmed up for you. Don't worry. Hello, we're about to get started with the news. Joe and I were just at Disney World and I have a lot to share. About it. If you have questions about anything Disney related, specifically Disney World related, oh, Universal for Mother's Day. That's super fun. And Catherine's here. Hi, Catherine. Yay. But if you guys have any questions about anything related to Disney, throw it in the chat. And at the end of the news, I'm going to go on and try to answer some questions for you. Yay. Okay, let me go over to my awesome script written by Catherine Manu, who is my partner in crime for Park Hopper Daily. All right. Like I was saying, we are fresh. Joe and I are fresh off a quick trip to the most magical place on earth. And while we were gone, Disney dropped a ton of news, as usual. Most of it was related to the reopening of Disneyland. Hacha! Oh yeah, we're excited. Also some rules, some lessening of the COVID-19 safety protocols in the Florida parks, and the return of entertainment as more and more people become vaccinated. I'm 2 shots in. Joe and I are completely vaccinated. It made a world of difference on this most recent trip. All right. If we were not vaccinated, I think we would have come home early. If you follow us on Instagram, you probably saw me rant about it a couple of times. And I'm sorry, especially while we were in Disney, I tried to just Disney magic the crap out of our Instagram stories and everything. But I do have to be very upfront and honest. Like, if you are not vaccinated, or even if you are and you're still like nervous about crowds, if you're nervous about people being around you without masks, Disney's not the place for you. And I would not have said that in January. In January, I came home after our long trip. And even though I was more nervous and more like reserved because there were still so many, I mean, there still are so many questions about COVID and long-term effects, and even the vaccine and its long-term effects. There's a lot that we still don't know. And I think that unknown is what causes a lot of the fear and anxiety around, travel and trying to get back to like normal, like everyone's saying. But at least Disney, at the beginning of everything, they were so many cast members walking around with signs really enforcing the mask rules, far fewer people in the parks. The physical distancing was set up a little bit better. This most recent trip this weekend, there were so many moments where I just kind of sat back and I was like, okay, just from one vantage point, from me just like going like this, I could easily see 20 people not wearing their masks or not wearing their mask properly. Whereas from November 15th through January 7th, our 54-day trip, I probably saw 20 people total that entire time not wearing their mask properly. This most recent trip, in any given moment, you could look around and see. And that was at Disney World, that I have said and sworn up and down to everyone I've ever talked to, like, oh, Disney's doing it so great. If everyone would do it the way Disney's doing it, the pandemic would have been over in a month. It's not true anymore. It's just not true anymore. And I am just observing, like, this is what I observed. I'm not here to say that that's how it is 100% of the time. I'm just telling you what I personally saw. And we were there Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. We were not in the parks yesterday on Wednesday, but for 4 days, and we park hopped and we were all over any given time of day, except for when we stayed after it was closed and it was just us. We wore our masks appropriately. But anyway, it was when we were outside, I think that the protocols were not followed as well or enforced as strictly. And could this be because more people are getting vaccinated and Disney's loosening the reins a little bit? Like, is the CDC about to come out? And, there's a lot of like, maybe that's the way things are trending because that's actually the way things are trending, and it's still just as safe. And, it's harder to transmit COVID outside. We know that. And, maybe this is a sign that things are, maybe it's a good sign that people are more comfortable around other people. I don't know. I'm just trying to share with you what I witnessed when we were there over this past weekend. I'm going to read this comment. That's so disappointing about people not doing the right thing, but I think Disney is 100% loosening the reins. Yes, they really are, especially so my biggest problem before, or like my biggest like, before we left, was the announcement about Disney saying that you could take your mask off for photos, provided you were 6 feet away from people. Now, did I take advantage of that myself? Of course I did. Did I make sure that my mask was 100% on the rest of the time, and that I only had snacks when I was away, socially distanced and still? Yes. I think that it's totally a fair and wonderful thing. It was great to take photos and see it on my photo pass and have, my face actually there. It was a little bit jarring to have the photo pass cast member say, okay, you can take your mask off now. I was like, wait, are you sure though? Because, so it was weird, but it was nice. My only qualm that I ever had with it, my only thing that I was worried about was exactly what I saw, which was people kind of taking the photo off for a mask and then walking to their next spot and then having a snack. And then a lot of people in line just using the line as their personal picnic zone. And I was like, that is just not, that's not. So anyway, the good news for Joe and I is that we are completely vaccinated. So, we both just kept saying the whole time, okay, we're okay. It's unfortunate that it's happening, but Anyway, that was just one tiny aspect of life that I just wanted to report on from the parks. The overwhelming majority of the time, Joe and I just had a freaking blast. Like we truly, we couldn't stop talking about how the trip felt like it was so much longer than just 4 nights. Like we were only there for 4 nights and we did so much stuff and we still relaxed. Like we got home midday on Wednesday and I'm like, I was tired. I was tired because we ended up walking over the course of 5 days. What was it, babe? Like 45 miles, something like that?
A little bit less.
A little, like just shy of like 45 miles in 4 days. Like that's a lot of moving. And like, but we had time to lay out by the pool. We had time to just sit and people watch in Disney Springs. We did so much stuff. And another highlight of the adventure, if you know, we went to Gideon's. Okay, I got the candle. It smells amazing. This is the coffee cake cookie candle. It was $24, which is more than I've ever spent on a candle, and I don't know if I'm ever gonna light it. Just like occasionally when I'm stressed, I'm just gonna like, just like kind of smell it, just cherish it forever. Joe also got, so Gideon's is like, it felt like Inception. Okay. If you've seen the movie, just go with me here. How it was like a Disney within a Disney within a Disney. It was like Gideon's is not a Disney brand or company by any means. They're their own brand, but they were so invested in creating like this epic backstory for the building that they're in. And then like a backstory for like the owner of the building. And like, if you go to their website, they only give you a little bit of the information and they specifically say, talk to our employees who are there and ask them, because the story is constantly evolving and we're unearthing new details. And so we did. While we were waiting in line, we talked to the cast member who was like totally, and she was like, oh yeah, let me tell you. And she'd only been there. She was like, I've only been here for 3 weeks, so I'm still learning a lot of it. And then talked for like 5 minutes straight and told us like, about like how they found this book that had the recipe for the cookies and how there was, just like all of this backstory for everything. It was so much fun. So it might be a place to go get bangin' cookies, but it also is a place that is just rife with tiny details, incredible artwork, and the cast members. I don't know if they call themselves cast members or if they're employed, whatever. The humans who are employed there are really part of the story, and they are so excited to fill you in about it. Plus, it's just exquisitely like put together, like the art, the steam, smoke effects, the lighting, the way the bookshelf, like you're walking into like if Tim Burton and Disney had a baby and it was a cookie, and I don't know, it was a phenomenal experience to go there. So that was a super great highlight. We also decided to add to our mug collection. So we got this new little gem from the UK pavilion in Epcot. Yes, it has a lid. Yes, it's a pain to drink out of because like what? But it's so cute. And Joe and I have already like tried it a couple of times. It's going to live mostly on the shelf, but I love it. A quick shout out to anyone who is heading to Disney. Marie, listen up. Excuse me. So I hope that you all got your little orange bird from either the Food and Wine Festival or Festival of the Arts, because there's a new little orange bird sipper cup for the Flower and Garden Festival. And it is atrocious. Like it is and I like orange a lot. Like, especially I always have like, I don't know why, but I always pick orange for my nails. I don't know. But the orange bird that they have now at, it's like tacky vibrant. It's not just the little, this is perfect. This is perfect. Just the little guy, right? And it's like really easy. You can just kind of like with one hand. The new one has like 7 oranges around it. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but it's got a ton of stuff around it. Like people had to kind of like double fist. I don't know. It was very awkward and it's way too orange. Not the right shade at all. Like 0 out of 10. Don't get it. It's not worth it. And then this guy's just here because we rode Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway a bunch and I loved it. Oh my gosh. I've talked for 15 minutes and I haven't even done any news. I'm going to talk more about our trip in a second, but let's get into the news. This is the Park Hopper Daily weekly newscast, and I'm your host, Anita Boyer. With Disneyland set to reopen in just over a week, on April 30th, there has been a lot of chatter about whether or not, if you do not live in the state of California but are fully vaccinated, can you hit the Anaheim parks? The Centers for Disease Control have said it appears that vaccinated individuals have so far proven safe from contracting the virus once they are fully vaccinated. Yes, that is fantastic. Although major drug companies behind vaccines have hinted a third booster shot may be necessary in the future. And on Thursday, the CDC announced it was reviewing outdoor mask guidelines. See, this is what I was talking about. Like, maybe this is why Disney is like loosening up on the reins. Given the lower incidence of transmission of the virus when outdoors. All right. I mean, I'm not saying that wouldn't be great news. You know, who wants to wear a mask when it's sweltering hot? It's just the only reason why it freaks me out is because that's the rule and that's what we're supposed to do. Just do it. Okay. Anyway, after California state guidelines revealed the state views fully vaccinated out-of-state visitors in the same way that it views its in-state visitors, you know, it was only a matter of time before Disney fans wondered, wait, does that mean if I'm fully vaccinated, I can go to the California parks? Because fingers crossed. For now, the answer appears to be no, okay? According to the Disneyland website, which, and I'll also say, if you are getting your Disney news from anything that cannot be traced back to an official Disney website, like it's not real. So like just set your rumors aside and go to the source. So here's the source, quote, "Until further notice, only California residents may visit the parks and in groups no larger than 3 households in line with current state guidelines. Proof of residency may be required," end quote. On Thursday, dining reservations also opened up at Disneyland with the virtual queue to make a reservation reaching up to an hour after it launched. As of 4:30 p.m., park opening day showed only availability in restaurants in downtown Disney. Boarding group information for Star Wars Rise of the Resistance was also dropped Thursday. There will be 2 drops like the Florida parks, one at 7 a.m. and the second will be at noon for Disneyland in California, as opposed to Disney World in Florida. It's 7 a.m. and 1 p.m. for their drops. For Rise of the Resistance virtual boarding passes. The difference is because park hopping is earlier than in Florida, guests with a Disney California Adventure reservation with a park hopper ticket will be able to try to make a Rise of the Reservation. That's what this should be called, Rise of the Reservation. No, they should be able to make a Rise of the Resistance reservation at noon. Park hopping officially begins in the California parks at 1 p.m. Over in Florida on Earth Day, that's today, people. And of course, I'm the douche who, like, this morning I post all these photos of me and Joe in Animal Kingdom. I'm just like, photo pass. And then it took me like several hours to be like, oh yeah, it's also Animal Kingdom's birthday and it's Earth Day, and I'm a little slow. It's fine. Disney announced that Walt Disney World and the Reedy Creek Improvement District will partner with utilities in Central Florida to develop 2 new solar facilities expected to go online in 2 years. When combined with its existing solar facilities, the project will provide enough renewable energy to power 40% of Walt Disney World's energy consumption, and that is legitimately amazing. In other sustainability news, Disney announced on Monday it has moved towards a more sustainable packaging for its classic dolls, which is now plastic-free, made with sustainably sourced paper that is 100% recyclable and easy to open. Okay, I love Mother Earth, but the most important part of that last bit for me is that it's easy to open, because I don't know about you, but I have gotten stuff from Disney, like in the parks, that I'm like, okay, but I want this now. I want to take photos with it. And it has taken several cast members and like many pairs of scissors to get through some of the packaging. Like, I don't know, like what they think, like who's trying to get into it, like what kind of proof they're trying to make it. But this is exciting. It's going to be easy to open. Yes, I'm here for it. And yay, recyclable. The collection includes 15 classic characters such as Queens Anna and Elsa, Ariel, Belle, Jasmine, Moana, Tiana, my fave, Rapunzel, Mulan, and more. The new plastic-free packaging can be recycled curbside or reused for playtime or storage. How cute! Quote, this plastic-free packaging will become available at global locations later this year, writes Anthony Armenia, communications manager for Disney Parks, Experiences, and Products. It's also part of Disney's broader commitment to environmental stewardship. We are always exploring new ways to lessen our environmental footprint and develop more innovative packaging and products that align with that goal. A lower impact on the environment and an easier, more magical playtime experience? I can't think of a better way to celebrate Earth Month. Amp up playtime with our new plastic-free packaging for these classic dolls, available now on shopdisney.com and at select Disney stores and Disney parks, unquote. Following the announcement on Walt Disney World, President Jeff Vail's Instagram that a celebration of the Festival of the Lion King will debut in mid-May at Disney's Animal Kingdom, Cirque du Soleil is also dropping hints about when the new Drawn to Life show at Disney Springs may debut. That's so exciting. I'm a humongous Cirque du Soleil fan. I think I've seen like 10 of their shows. My best friend Kasha and I are like that for many years has been like our birthday or Christmas present to each other, is like tickets to go see a show like that. So that's really, really exciting that they're gearing up to be able to get back to doing shows. The Orlando Sentinel reports that the famed troupe announced Wednesday which of its shows would reopen, and Drawn to Life was absent from the roster. However, the Sentinel also reports that CEO Daniel Lamar told the Los Angeles Times that the show would open sometime in the fall. This was a highly anticipated show set to debut in a building created just for this first truly Disney-themed Cirque du Soleil experience right as COVID-19 hit the United States. It was to replace La Nuba, a show that ran for 19 years and closed in December of 2017. Disney is now allowing guests at some resorts and quick service locations to use refillable mugs at self-service soda stations. Say that 10 times fast. Cast members are still enforcing social distancing and directing guests to available machines, but this is the latest COVID-19 restriction being loosened in the parks, and we would guess as more people are vaccinated against the virus, more restrictions will continue to be relaxed as we near the 50th anniversary celebration this fall. In the expansion of things I loved before COVID department, there are more mobile order options in Magic Kingdom. Sleepy Hollow, our favorite breakfast stop, is now offering mobile order as is the Friar's Nook in Fantasyland and Sunshine Tree Terrace in Adventureland. Oh, that is a lot of news. Let me see. If anyone has any questions, now is a fabulous time to write them in the chat. Thank you so much for being here with us today. I'm super excited. If you follow along with us on Instagram, I do want to say that over the next couple of days, I'm going to be sharing everyone that we got to see. I'm going to be sharing everything that we ate, everything that we drank, and a lot more fun photos that we took. We did not try the PhotoPass, the new like personal photographer experience, although I'm tempted, but Joe and I just have so much fun like taking our own photos, and that's what we did. We actually, and I'm like so upset at myself for missing this, but Josh tomorrow was like right next to us while we were doing our little photo shoot in Magic Kingdom, and we were so focused, and like it wasn't even busy. Like this was a solid hour and a half after park closing, and it was like just like maybe one or two people like trickling through the castles when we were like, I was sitting on the drawbridge like trying to get that shot of, like no one else is there, and you see the carousel, you see the castle, and we're sitting there and like we're both just kind of like, okay, like move because there's some people walking through. And then after we're done with our shoot, a security guard who was kind of hanging out, he was like, you know who that was, right? And we're like, no, who? And he was like, that was the president of Disney World. That was Josh tomorrow. And we're like, damn it. We were so interested in our photo shoot, our own little personal photo shoot. But anyway, it was a super magical experience. So I know, Catherine, I'm really sorry. Catherine's yelling at me. Oh my gosh. And I'm so excited at how many people we saw. Okay, I'm gonna try really. I know I'm gonna miss some people, and I'm gonna apologize in advance for that. But I do have photos of all of you, so I'll make up for it on the Instagram story, I promise. But we finally got to meet Emily and Scott Carlson from We Do Disney Right. And they treated us to some Oga's Cantina, which was so sweet and fun. And we got to hang out with them and their kids. And we also did Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway together. It was so much fun. We've been like chatting on Instagram for, close to a year now. And we just like randomly were able to like be there at the same time. So much fun. We saw Jamie, our correspondent on the ground, our local Orlando Disney correspondent, Jim Disney. Got to have some snacks with him around the world at the Flower and Garden Festival, and then like randomly bumped into him like every single day. I think he was like maybe stalking us a little bit on our Instagram, which I adore. Like I really love it. So like we got out of like Haunted Mansion and he was just like, hey, and we're like, oh my God, hello. So that was super fun. We got to literally stumble across several people perfecting the magic. We got to see her and her partner. That was so cool. Like, and she's like California. She's not, I wasn't expecting her at Walt Disney World at all. She's a Disneyland girl. And so that was super fun to run into her. We got to hang out with our friends Ed and Terry, who are local to, they moved down to Florida. We know them from New York, but now they've made the official, that's like all New Yorkers end up in Florida, right? That's what people say. I know there's so many more people that we saw. It was so much fun every day. We just kind of like ran into someone random and we were just like, what? This is great. This is great. Awesome. Let me see if there are any questions. You're going to Universal. That's super exciting. New park snacks. You know, we got almost no quick service this trip. We super spoiled ourselves because we were vaccinated. And when we were there for our honeymoon, we only ate at like maybe 4 like sit down experiences because we only wanted to be outside dining. But this time we were able to try indoor dining. So we were there for 4 full days and then 1 morning. In that time, we ate at Topolino Terrace, the Boathouse, Il Molino at the Swan Resort over by the Swan and Dolphin. We ate at Liberty Tree Tavern. We ate at Oga's. We ate at Mama Melrose. Like I bought this sweatshirt in an extra large because it was a necessity. Like we ate everything. So we did not have a super ton of snacks. Oh, we ate at Wine Bar George, which was phenomenal. Lots of new stuff. We'd never really had a proper meal at Boathouse. We'd never had a proper meal at Wine Bar George. Never been to Mama Melrose. Never been to Liberty Tree Tavern. Never been to Topolino Terrace. Like all this stuff was like new experiences for us. And I'm so, so happy that we got to do it. 'Twas an adventure, not a cheap one, but that's okay. We are holding off on a Disney trip because my 2-year-old is obsessed with Mickey and Minnie and won't understand why she can't go hug them. I am how old am I? Am I 34 or 35? Anyway, I'm in my 30s. I don't know how old I am. That's sad. Okay. And I don't understand why I can't go hug Mickey and Minnie. Like, it's so hard. But I totally understand and respect that. What I will say is that they are making, Mickey especially is like very prominent in all of the parks. Like, he's part of a cavalcade in every park. And sometimes up on the train station. What is difficult is that he's not like always going to be available in a known spot. So you do have to rely on some luck because there's not like, there's not a schedule on purpose, because the whole point of all of this is to keep people from like being in a crowd, right? So they can't be like, okay, Mickey's going to be here at 3, 5, and 8:30, right? Because then that's when there's going to be a crowd. But we were only there for 4 nights, and we did stumble across Mickey a solid like 7 times without even, trying. And then another thing that was really great was character dining, which I'm a convert, especially in the time of COVID. So pre-COVID, I would never pick a character dining. I wouldn't do Chef Mickey's. I was kind of like, Topolino, is it really worth it? I have still never been to Cinderella's Royal Table, never been to Crystal Palace, like all these things where that they're adding like a solid $15, $20 to the price, simply because of the fact that there are characters there. And I'm always like, I'm going to eat when I'm going to eat. And then if I want to see the characters, I'll go wait in line and visit the characters. Like, that's just kind of been my philosophy. But now that there is not, I can go wait in line and do the character meet and greet. It was I cried. Like, I actually had tears rolling down my face when we were at Topolino Terrace yesterday morning, and Mickey came out. And he we had that like moment that like he's looking at me. He's looking at from a distance, but he's looking at my tattoos and being like, oh my gosh, and like miming for the character greeter assistant person to come over and check out my tattoos. And like it was so, and like I got to talk to Minnie and be like, sorry, I got your man like all tattooed on my arm. Like, he's kind of mine. He's not yours. Get out of here, you trollop. Shout outs to Terry. She always calls Minnie the trollop, and I love it. But I'm a convert. Like, character dining now is so worth it. And while I totally agree, like, you still, even though they will come and be distanced away from your table, they'll pose for like distance selfies. It's all great. I can totally understand why that would just be heartbreaking for a child to be like, but why can't I hug them? I want a hug from Mickey. I want a hug from Mickey. So when that's allowed again, I'm telling you, they're going to have to pry me off of him. Like, I'm going to hug him until like the cast members are like, okay. And then I might just get right back online and do it again. I'm sorry in advance, Mickey. I love you. I miss you. The cookies from Gideon's are amazing. We bought 12. Like, it's a 6 cookie limit at Gideon's per person. And we legitimately bought 12. And then I brought them. I mean, we ate one in the moment with the peanut butter cold brew. Someone figure out the recipe to that and give it to me, because I'm about to like get like a tray of cold brews and like freeze them and get them home in dry ice and put them in the freezer and like parcel them out as well. Like, the peanut butter cold brew. Are you kidding me? It was amazing. It like really ruined other coffee for me. So it was like great, but awful at the same time, because now I'm like, I want nothing to do with Starbucks Frappuccino. Ew, it's garbage in my mouth now because of Gideon's. Thanks a lot, Gideon's. But we came home and I wrapped the cookies in saran wrap, and then I wrapped them in foil. I wrote what the flavor was. I put it in a bag. I'm actually I sucked the air out of it, so it's like airtight. I'm like, yeah. So our freezer is full of cookies. And yes, Catherine, I have one for you. Don't worry. I would never buy 12 cookies and not bring one home for you. Let's see what else. Marie, you got to meet Josh tomorrow too, right? Didn't you fangirl? I would have fangirled a lot. Marie says, I hate waiting in character lines outside. We always do character dining, but we haven't done any since COVID. That makes sense. That makes sense too. I don't like the only ones that I ever really waited for, like sometimes around Epcot, if you it's a low crowd day and you kind of walk up and like maybe it's 10 minutes until they're going to come and you can like get sneak first in line, like that is something that I would pop in on. I love meeting Alice that way. Alice in Wonderland. We always share a glass of invisibility. Okay, sorry. I love that, but I will wait for 2 hours to meet Mickey. Like if I'm going to Disney, like we're meeting Mickey, and I always cry, and I always just like have the best like that. Even when we went to Disneyland Paris, I was like, I know there's a lot of stuff here, but like we're meeting Mickey. And that's what we're waiting in line for. And that's like when we rope dropped one morning at Disneyland Paris, I'm like, okay, Mickey first. I don't care about the rides. Let's see. They are 100% like Disney lawyers. Get your restraining order ready because that's the only way you're keeping me off Mickey once the restrictions are down. Oh, waiting in lines with young kids isn't easy. Paying a few extra dollars is worth it versus whining kids. I totally get that. And Joe now is probably saying the same thing because I am also a whiny child. It's probably like, it's worth 10 extra dollars per person. Just sit down and eat the food. Oh yeah. I part of me is kind of glad that we missed Josh because I probably would have like been super awkward and like, yeah, and like forgotten how to speak. And then I don't even know, like, what do you say? Someone like help me because like, what do you say? Like, thank you. Like, is that weird? Like, I would want to be like, thank you for being so cool. Like, I feel like he's just such a cool, calm, kind, legit. I mean, and the reason why this was what was cool. The reason why the security guard wanted to like point him out to us was because he had picked some trash up off the ground and thrown it away. And he like the security guard wanted to point out to us like, see, that's the president of Disney, whatever. And like he picks up trash, and it wasn't even with one of the little claw things. Like he actually like bent down and like picked it up with his hand and threw it in the garbage. And the security guard was so like proud and excited to like share that with us that, that's the kind of care that people at every single level, it doesn't matter. Like this is your space and you want to respect it and treat it well and set a great example. And I was like, how sweet is that? That is so sweet and cool. And I just thought it was really awesome. So in a way, I'm really sad that I missed him, but in another way, it's kind of cool that like he got to watch us. He got to witness me doing my photo shoot. Okay, no, I'm just kidding. I'm totally not like that. I'm a douche. Okay. I want to be there when Anita ends up in Disney jail for refusing to stop hugging Mickey. You could be there. This could be a work trip. I did, Marie. I saw the photo that you took, and I love it. I think it's great. Well, awesome. So I got a question earlier this week from a friend, and I'm being so like, I was like legitimately really busy getting ready to leave, but I'm also trying to promote the YouTube channel and get people to tune in to our show. So I was like, tune in on Thursday and ask your question then, and that's when I'll answer it. And I was like, does that make me a jerk? I don't know. But anyway, their question was where to go for food on Memorial Day weekend with a family of 6. And unfortunately, my answer is kind of like, don't. But seriously, like, if you don't have reservations already, your best bet is going to be the night before. And as stressful as that's going to be, I mean, just check your My Disney Experience app all the time. Nothing's going to be available. I'm 100% sure that like nothing is available. But another little trick that we used for this trip was some of the places in some of the resorts, like if it's third party, they might also like outside of the Disney app, they might have an open table app as well, and that might have more availability than the Disney one. So that's how we got Boathouse, that's how we got Il Mulino, that's how we got Wine Bar George. So there is a way to kind of like play that game too and kind of check on open table and see if you can get a reservation that way. Check the app often because what's going to happen, everything's booked. So what you're going to have to hope for is that a person is changing their mind and canceling their plan and releasing their reservation at exactly the same time that you are trying to find a reservation, because that's how limited in-person dining is right now. Like, if you try to call Disney about it, you're going to be on hold for 2 hours and then probably end up with a reservation at like Paradiso 37 and Beer Garden in Epcot, which Beer Garden is great. Don't go to Paradiso 37. That place gave me food poisoning and it's garbage. I'm sorry. It's pure and utter garbage. Sorry, that was my phone. I should have put on silent. So another tip is, if you do not end up getting a dining reservation, you absolutely must schedule your quick service. If you don't want to have a weekend of Mickey pretzels, which does not sound awful to me, but if that's not what you want, if you want some actual food, Epcot will have your best quick service options. And anywhere, any park that you decide to go to, the second you get into that park, make your dining, like, order your food. And I'm talking like, you get to Animal Kingdom at 8 a.m., go on the app, maybe pick Flame Tree Barbecue, pick your time, pick out what you're going to want to eat, and then you can go back and get it. Like, you're going to order your food at like 8 or 9 a.m. for pickup at 12 or 1 or 2 or whatever. Do the same thing for dinner, quick service, if you can't get reservations, because these places will sell out. And then at noon, you're going to be starving and you're going to be thirsty and your children are going to be screaming, and you're going to get on the app at that time and you're going to try to order like chicken fingers and barbecue and whatever, and they're going to be like, the next available time slot is at 7 p.m. or something, or none at all, because if the park is at capacity, these places are going to sell out. So make your reservations that morning as soon as you can, so that you can at least be guaranteed something. And the quick service is great and it's a lot cheaper, so save some money, but also don't go to Disney World on Memorial Day because it's insane and I hate crowds and it just gives me anxiety thinking about it. All right, guys, this has been a really long, fun newscast. Joe and I are so grateful to you for following along. You made our trip so much fun, being able to like share all of these crazy fun experiences with you and hopefully bring you some joy and smiles and magic wherever you are. I'm gonna go because we're gonna eat pizza or soup or something, and I'm kind of hungry now, even though I told Joe I wasn't gonna be hungry. You guys are wonderful. Have a wonderful night. Joe, stop laughing at me. Oh my God, I'm being mocked. Oh wait, I have to go back to my script for my outro. So wait. Comment below if you haven't subscribed to us yet. Please subscribe. We want you to be part of our fun and our life. Tell us what you think about all of this. Am I insane for being so high-strung about the masks? It's fine. Just tell me. It's what I know that it's going to go away, and that's great. What I would love is for it to come from, the scientists and doctors, and then the CDC, and then Disney changes their protocols, and then we do it. I don't like the trend that I'm seeing now where it's like, well, we're just all tired of it, so we're going to stop, and then everyone else is just going to have to adjust, right? Or just like to see it happen the right way. Gosh, I'm annoying. Okay, anyway. Are you excited to get some tickets to see Drawn to Life, the new Cirque du Soleil show that is hopefully going to be opening up in the fall? So when are you going to Disney World? Like, now that I'm home, I'm not going back again until July, probably. And I need to live vicariously through you. So let us know the next time that you are going to be going to the parks. Do you think they're going to start dropping COVID-19 protocols right and left? Is Disney going to go the way of the rest of Florida and just kind of be like a wild, wild west free-for-all? Let us know what you think in the comments below. All right, friends, as always, I am Anita Boyer with Park Hopper Daily. This has been your weekly newscast, and we will see you real soon. Have a magical night, friends!